I would now like to tell you about my mum. Now, my mum is another in the rogues gallery of headbangers in our family. I mean, my mother is amazing. I mean, I love her dearly. She's great, but she is just unbelievable. I used to work on the buses in Manchester as a bus conductor, and we used to go to Bury on the old 35s. Now, Bury used to be very well known for black puddings. They used to do marvellous black puddings, and Bury black puddings they used to call them. So, I bought some black puddings. Now, my mother has hated black puddings ever since she was a girl and she got frightened by one. It was a dark night. He was carrying them funny. That's all there was to do. She kicked him over a wall and ran off. But ever since then, So I put them on the table, you see. I said, hey, Mum, will you cook these? She came in and looked. She said, oh, black put. Oh, she said. Oh, I can't stand them. She said, I couldn't cook them for you. I said, why not? She said, I ate them. I said, well, just cook them for me tea. She said, I don't know how to do it. I've no idea. So I went next door and asked Mrs. Simmons, who used to live next door. I said, how do you cook black puddings? She said, you do them like you do potatoes. You can boil them or you can fry them. So I went back. I said, Mum, she says you do them like you do potatoes. Do you know what I got for me tea that night? Black pudding chips. She'd been 2 hours peeling them. Very rubbery skins on these. It looked like a plate of dominoes. I said, what's this? They're all double sixes. I'm knocking, I can't. A fella came round next door to put an aerial on the roof of the house next door, right? He's halfway up the ladder. My mother decides she wants him to help her doing something. She grabs hold of the ladder. Yoo-hoo! The fella holding onto the gutter by his teeth, going, Missus! Let go of the bloody ladder! I'm gonna cook it all off in a minute! She said, can you come down? He said, I'll come down in a minute! And she let go and he came down in his white overalls. He said, oh, Missus, he said, what's up? She said, my washing lines fell down. He said, well, it wasn't me. She said, I know that. She said, but I saw you had a drill. She said, could you drill a hole in the wall and put a peg in it for me so I can put my washing line back up? He said, I will do, Missus, but promise me, don't shake me, ladder no more like that. So he gets his drill, 2 seconds, zoop, big peg in the hole, boom, hook in it. He said, there you go. So my mother got the washing line, fastened it. She said, thanks very much, love. She said, I don't know how I can help you. No, he said, it's all right, Missus. No, she said, I'm really grateful. She said, I'll get my clothes up now. He said, no, just give us a cup of tea. She went mad, me mum. She's got no sense of humour when it comes to that at all. No sense of humour. But my mother, I mean, I do love her, and she owes me, but she'd be the first to admit that she's done more to mutilate the English language than any person I know. Honestly. Last Christmas, for a present, I bought her a Waterford crystal vase, a little one like that. And she said, oh, thanks, she said. She said, your Uncle Harry, now my Uncle Harry is a famous Manchester character called Harry Carpet. He's an unofficial wine taster for Yates's Wine Lodge and a sudden fall-down merchant. Rubber legs after 10:30. You know, he's known as Horizontal Harry in certain areas, but he's always winding my mother up and telling her all sorts of things, and she believes him. So she said, your Uncle Harry said you can always tell if it's real crystal, because when you hold it up to the light, you can see all the colours of the rectum. Now, apparently she said this in the butcher's while he's doing some chops. He's nearly lost his... She's brilliant. I went home last year. I went to see her at summertime. And she said, I'm glad you've come to see me. She said, because you can help me, she said, for a change. She said, stay round, she said, because I've got some furniture coming through the post. Now, I've got a very funny imagination. I see things visually a lot of that. And I had a vision of 4 postmen with a wardrobe coming down our street with a big stamp on it, you know, and I said, what are you talking about? Furniture coming through the post. She said, don't be stupid, you know what I'm talking about. I got it from the mail order catalogue, she said. It's for the barbecue. I said, what barbecue? Now, I better point out that my mother lives in the same house I was born into in Crumsall, in a terrace street, right? With a backyard. I said, what are you going to do with the barbecue? She said, your father's going to whitewash the backyard and we're going to have a barbecue there and chairs and tables. I said, Mother, you're actually going to cook meat outside on a fire in our street? She said, yes. I said, you know what'll happen if the neighbours around here smell meat? They'll go berserk. square meals and oxo round our place, you know what I mean? She said, don't be stupid, you can help me for a chat. I said, Mum, I said, are you really going to eat in the yard outside? You're going to cook? She said, yes. I said, it's a funny thing. I said, you remember as soon as I got a bit of money in this job, we knocked down the old outside toilet. Do you remember that? And I built you a toilet and a bathroom in my old bedroom in the house. She said, yes, why? I said, it's funny. I said, when we were poor, we used to crap in the yard and eat in the house. It's the other way around now. I said, she said, I'll wash your mouth out with soap, Michael. That's no way to... She said, you can stay here and help me. She said, this furniture, she said, it's coming through the post and it's a kit. She said, your Uncle Harry said it's called suppository furniture.
Say what?
She said, it's called that because you put it up yourself, he said. I don't know. She said, it's... That's right. Do you remember the power cuts? Do you remember the power cuts of... Was it 71, 69? 71, I think it was, all them power cuts. My baby brother was 2 at the time. She gave him garlic so we could find him in the dark. Come here, John, have another sweetie. I don't like them sweeties. We're all walking around the house going... She's brilliant. Oh, the best one. My mother, when I was 15, I used to come home from school, I'd be doing my homework on the table while my dad was having his tea, you know, he'd be there, like, doing his pools or doing his horses, like his Yankee accumulators, sixpence, and then all permed, all these horses. If they'd ever come up, they'd have killed every bookie in the country that had done them out. And he's there doing it. And my mother sat opposite him. He's there, Mum, me doing homework, kids all sat watching Muffin the Mule on the show. And my mother, if she was ever going to say anything really like, anything about sex or anything like that, or who'd gone to prison in our street, if she was going to say anything like that, she'd always like whisper it like that. You know? Because a lot of people in Lancashire, women in Lancashire, could do that lip reading bit with working with the mill machinery, you know, because they have to do it over the noise of the machine, so like that. So, there we are. And she says to me, Dad, Lou, she said, Lou. He said, what's the buggery matter? She said, Lou, she said. Oh, she said, we've had some trouble today, she said, in the corner shop, you know. Because we used to live next door to the corner shop. She said, terrible trouble, she said, that Mrs. Johnson from down the road, you know, the new woman who moved in just a bit back. She was upset. She was so upset today. We had to sit her on a sugar bag and give her a drink of tea. She said, oh, she was terrible state. She was very upset, you know. Because, you know, and I'm listening by now, I think. She said, you know, her and her husband, they've been trying for a family, you know. I've always loved that expression, trying for... How do you try for a family? On your marks, get set, go. Oh, he's fell off again, Fred. Lift him back. It's always fascinating. So anyway, there's my mum. Been trying for a family, you know, for 4 years, you know, and she's not had any, you know, she's not terrible trouble. Anyway, she went to see one of them, she went to the anti-naval clinic today. She went to see one of the surgeons, you know, this, and he gave her an interval exhumation, you know. And she was so upset at what he told. He shouldn't have told her. She was crying her eyes out. Now, apparently, this doctor had told this poor woman that she had an inadequate passage, and if she had a child, it would be a miracle. My mother said, you know what he said? She's got a haddock in her passage. And if she has a baby, it's going to be a mackerel. That's what he said. I mean, don't just think he says, I buggery hate mackerel. He's buggery terrible fish. Bones stick in the teeth, he said.